Hello and welcome. Come and join me. My name is Phil Naylor. Today is Tea with a Therapist. I'm a therapist. I have some tea. So please join me. Bring your own tea. Come sit with me on this blustery Southern Ontario day. We seem to be having a lot of bad weather. Well, it is the end of February. What can I say? But please join me every Sunday. I have tea with a therapist. This is my little effort to educate people about mental health, mental wellness, how we work, and just to talk about subjects of interest or in things psychological for the people watching. So at the end of this, please feel free to leave a comment or suggestion about anything that you would like. So today's topic is hypnosis. And just before I go into that, a little further about myself, I've been a therapist for the past 20 years, I'd say, or so, working in the mental health field in private practice for about the last 7 years, and working in a variety of human service related things for at least the past 30 years. So I've gleaned a whole bunch of background and experience from different angles, I guess, in life. Done a lot of reading and a lot of studying and a lot of learning, and I had a lot of training. So this is my particular take on these issues about mental health and therapy and how we work. There are many, I guess, theories and approaches out. There isn't any one unified way that everybody agrees on to look at how everything about how we work. So everybody has different kinds of, or there have been many theories and approaches over the years, and people will have different perspectives. So this is my particular perspective. I guess it's my eclectic perspective that's been developed over a number of years. But feeling that I do pretty effective work with people, and I come from a particular understanding about what I've gathered about how we work based on, and you may find people that would contradict me, but you won't find that all the information out there contradicts me. You'll find a lot of things, both in psychology and in the personal development field, you'll find will be resonating with a lot of things out there. So just a proviso that this, I am a therapist, but this isn't therapy. This is just education and information. And again, I represent my own opinion, not the vast opinion out there. This is my particular angle on things, but I hope that it's beneficial to you. Most people find that it makes a lot of sense, and so I just want to share that and the effort to, in this kind of wild, stressful world out there, to provide some sort of foundational understanding about how we work, because if you have that, knowledge is power, and it helps you to understand yourself and to be able to work with yourself better and easier. I think we need all the help we can get out there, and nobody's out there teaching this like in schools and what have you. A lot of people, we know more about kind of physical health and nutrition nowadays than we do about our mental health and wellness and how we work that way. Okay, so having said all of that, let's talk about the subject of the day, which is hypnosis. So most people know, if they've watched my earlier sessions, you would know that I'm into hypnosis. Hypnosis is probably my main therapeutic modality. I do use a bunch of tools and a bunch of different approaches, and trained in cognitive behavior therapy and all that, but hypnosis is really my technique of choice, you might say, and I like it for a number of reasons, mostly because it is a fast, easy, and pleasant way of creating change, of helping people to work with their mental, emotional stuckness. Why don't we say that? So it's a very pleasant and easy way to do that. It comes from my own personal interest too, and kind of more the psychotherapeutic approach. So some people think that, well, this whole thing, I'll shift this a little bit, hypnosis is kind of a little kind of woo-woo out there. I'm kind of like a kind of new agey guy or something. And I don't know if it's that or if I'm just kind of old-fashioned and conservative, because Actually, hypnosis is kind of the original psychotherapy. It has a history of thousands of years. It's known, sort of, we deduce that it may be what they called the methods that they introduced as the sleep temples back in the Greek and Egyptian days of the old temple healers, where there were descriptions of people go and the priest or whatever would put them in this kind of sleep-like state, and they would come out feeling better or healed of their troubles or whatever. And then we have records of back in the 1700s, where we have people like Antoine Mesmer, who's going around in France and doing what we would now think more like stage hypnosis. But he was a phenomenon back there and had this big following, and he was putting people into these states, and he called it animal magnetism, and it was later relabeled as hypnosis. At first it was called mesmerism, and that's where we get the state, that expression of being mesmerized by something. We're kind of so engaged and fascinated with something, or mesmerized by this thing. It's like being hypnotized. So the same interchangeable thing. So mesmer in 1700s, it got kind of studied by some of the earlier psychotherapists or psychiatry. Got picked up by the psychoanalytic school, like Freud, and he was trained in hypnosis. And I think he got fascinated by the hypnotic phenomena and started to study how was this working? How did it work? And that's where he started to explore the unconscious. Some people theorize that the reason he developed psychoanalysis is that he was kind of a lousy hypnotist, and so he didn't do very well with it. He wasn't very skilled at it, and so he developed his own method and kind of got more fascinated with the phenomena of hypnosis and what was that saying about how we were structured and work. So hypnosis really, and the theories about the unconscious and psychoanalysis kind of dominated the first parts of the 20th century. And if you look at old movies and things, you'll often see hypnosis involved sometimes with the psychiatrist with the watch, and look at the watch and you're getting sleepy, and then we would take people back into some traumatic state, and people would be freaking out because of reliving something. And so sometimes, or they're talking like in a different voice and things like that. And so it seemed kind of creepy, and it is kind of scary when it looks like that. And sometimes you can get that if you're actually doing hypnosis, hypnotic regression. That's a particular way of using hypnosis, which is called hypnotic regression. We use it to retrieve memories that may have been lost, or to find the origin of some issue that is affecting us now. So I do hypnotic regression. It's done in the very minority of cases that I do, and it's usually done for a specific reason. And you have to have a good discussion with the person before going into something like that, because there is the possibility of going into a traumatic memory that you may have forgotten. So the person has to be prepared for that, and we have to know how to handle that if they do. Mostly though, people, even if they go into a traumatic memory, it's more like watching it on TV. It's not really kind of, reliving it. Although it's possible, you can kind of go into the reliving it kind of state when you do that particular route. That's why we have to kind of really prepare. That's called revivification. But that is the minority of cases when we remember things. Even in hypnosis, it's kind of like, you kind of remember it, but it's like happening to somebody else or on TV or something like that. So it's not that traumatic, even if it's even if it technically was. So at the time. So, but that's kind of another topic unto itself. Hypnotic regression is done in the minority cases. Mostly I use hypnosis for really inducing positive states of feeling positive, and communicating positive ideas, images, and suggestions that help people. We hope that integrates into their thinking thought system or their automatic system, and it makes changes behind the scenes, because they're just it's creating a kind of a perceptual change or a new way of thinking. that's a little bit about the history of hypnosis and how how it's worked in the past. So I use it because it's very pleasant. Most people find it a very pleasant, enjoyable experience. And once they've had hypnosis, they kind of want to keep coming back to use that because it is enjoyable. And as a matter of fact, some people come back kind of on a regular basis because they use it. You know how some people go get a massage every month just because that makes them feel good. Well, some people do that with hypnosis. They have their little hypnosis session every month or so because it feels good and they feel better afterwards and they enjoy it. So as a hypnotist, I don't get to experience that much. I wish I could. Nobody does hypnosis on me, except once in a while, kind of meet with a colleague who also does hypnosis, and we may practice hypnosis techniques once in a while, and we sometimes compete about, no, let me be the client today, because no, I want to lay there and get that, because it's very enjoyable. So any opportunity I get to have hypnosis, I really like to take that. So let's talk a little bit about what is hypnosis. Nobody really knows. It's we don't really know exactly what it is. We can kind of describe it. If you ask 10 different hypnotists, you probably get 10 different answers. But basically, to describe it, it's putting somebody in a relaxed state and providing positive ideas, images, and suggestions that we hope will be, like I say, integrated into their thought system and make changes that way. And we have to craft those ideas and suggestions, kind of customize them individually to people for them to be most effective, because they have to speak to the individual. They have to be ideas that resonate with that individual. So I spend a lot of time at the front end interviewing people, getting to know how they think, what they value, what motivates them, so I can feed that information back to them in the form of hypnosis, in that kind of, in the language that they understand, so to speak. So that's kind of the descriptor of it, relaxed state and intaking ideas and information. I kind of think of hypnosis as a learning state, because when they've done research, if they kind of put electrodes on people's heads and things and look at the brainwave pattern that's generated while they're in hypnosis, it's the same brainwave patterns that young children have. If you put electrodes on their head, just follow them around. They've got this sort of brainwave pattern that matches the hypnosis pattern. And so what's going on with little kids? Well, they're taking in a lot of information. We're learning. That's our main function as children, is that we learn about everything. We're sucking in information. It's the easiest time to learn. Kids pick up new stuff like that. They very easily pick up learning because they're geared for learning. They're geared to suck in all the information they can about the world. That, you could say, that's evolutionary. That helps us to survive. If we learn as much as we can about our environment as quickly as we can, we're going to survive better. But anyway, for whatever reason, kids suck in information. They're in kind of a hypnosis-like state, you might say, because they're not critically analyzing things. Our critical faculties aren't really developed so much as a kid. And so we just take in whatever's presented. Oh, this is the home we're in. This is how we act. Oh, I guess that's the way it is. So we just take it in without analyzing it and challenging it too much. And so that is able to go directly into our subconscious system, and we're just, uncritically taking information, which is a good thing and a bad thing, because if we suck in bad ideas and information, that kind of gets stuck in our operating system, which is one of the uses we use of hypnosis, is undoing kind of bad programs that get installed when we're young that don't work very well. So that's how I see hypnosis. It's kind of a learning state. And if you think about it, anytime, if you're trying to learn something, if you relax and just kind of, just gently take in the information, you're learning something in a relaxed state, you learn it a lot easier and a lot faster than if you're all uptight and tense and trying to kind of memorize everything. So even that sort of indicates that hypnosis facilitates learning and new information. So I do hypnosis because it is fast, easy, and effective. And I find, and I've done all the kind of cognitive type based things, that it just, it makes change easier and faster. So I do kind of a combination of talk therapy and hypnosis, but using the hypnosis, and I use it with most people, unless they don't want me to, um, because it is just so facilitative and easy. And I tend to work with people, most people, probably about 80% of my people I work with in a 4-session program, 5 hours, because I do a double session at the beginning for various reasons. That takes them a long way to solving most of their issues, incorporating hypnosis. So I tend to find that I can do a faster, more effective job using hypnosis than without it. So I don't understand personally why every therapist doesn't use it. I think it's a core tool, but whatever. It's kind of more of a specialty area. I like it, so, and it helps. It helps just to understand this unconscious conscious dichotomy that we work with. So hypnosis is sort of a natural state, okay? When we're talking about what is it, we're going in and out of hypnosis-like states all the time. Hypnosis tends to be one of two main states. One is kind of a daydreaming state. So, you're at the office or at a meeting, or talking to your spouse, and they're talking to you, and you're thinking about the weekend or something else, and that's sort of a hypnosis state. You're kind of there, but not there. You're there, and maybe you can regurgitate information. Well, what did I say? Oh, you said this. But meanwhile, you're thinking about something else. That's kind of a hypnosis state. The other hypnosis-like state is a very focused and engaged state. So that would be if you're watching a great movie and you're kind of really into it and you're kind of like right in there and part of the characters, or better still, reading a book and your imagination's going and you're kind of imagining all the characters and what's happening and you're part of that to the exclusion of everything else. So that is a hypnosis state too. We think about driving sometimes as a hypnosis state. Many people have the phenomena where they're driving, especially some routine place that they drive to a lot, and all of a sudden they arrive at their destination. And it's like, oh, I'm here. How did I get here? I don't remember going through that intersection. Like, I hope I stopped. So that's very common. That part of us is doing the driving, another part sort of thinking about other stuff, and then we kind of lose track about that part that's driving, and that's a hypnosis state. We also go through a hypnosis-like state going into and coming out of sleep. So we mostly notice it when we're coming out of sleep. It's that in between waking and sleeping. So sometimes when we're coming out of sleep, it's like, what? Where am I? Is it Monday? Is it Tuesday? Am I still dreaming? Where am I? That kind of, just kind of slightly disoriented. You're not quite awake, just emerging from sleep. That's a hypnosis state too. Okay, so that's sort of a description of hypnosis. And it's resonated with me because I've always been interested in the unconscious and the psychoanalytical approaches. And I've always was fascinated with the hypnosis kinds of things when I was a kid. But I couldn't find it anywhere. It's not kind of taught in the mainstream. So I finally went out and found some training about 7 or 8 years ago and really kind of cottoned on to it. There is a big network of people out there that do this stuff. Part of the National Guild of Hypnotists, and there are groups and associations out there that really are into hypnosis and promote it. So, but that's not part of the mainstream, so it kind of dropped out of there somehow. Other theories emerged to take it over. So I don't know if people didn't think that it was studyable very much or explainable in a cognitive way, but I use it because it's fast and effective and pleasant. So, so enough about that. So feel free to send any questions if you have anything further, or look at my website, which is glenterracenter.com. But what I'd like to do is just to facilitate a little bit of the hypnosis experience. Okay, so I can do it on here. So you have to just be open, and I'll just introduce a little just a little sample of hypnosis. So if you want to get yourself prepared, and you want to make sure that if you're listening to this, you should not be doing anything else but just sitting and relaxing. You know, you don't want to be chopping vegetables or meat or something, and you don't want to be driving something or, you know, riding a bike or something like that. So you want to be just sitting here. If you have some tea, if you got hot tea, you don't want to be balancing on your knee so you can spill it on yourself or something. So just get yourself comfortable and relax. I'm just going to kind of walk you through kind of a little basic introduction to hypnosis, and you'll find that it's really nothing that amazing, okay? But we'll just start by just kind of clearing your mind and just get yourself in a comfortable, kind of alert position. And just focus on the here and the now. You might want to find a focal point, whether you're looking at me or a place across the room, or just have your eyes downwards, and just allow yourself just to calm. Allow your breathing just to kind of become regular. And just focus on your senses. Just notice the look of the room that you're in. Notice the way you feel in the chair. And notice any sounds around you. And then just go ahead and close your eyes. So just close your eyes. And again, tune into your senses. Just notice the sounds around you, the way you feel in the chair. Just notice the placement of your hands wherever they are. And just start to relax. Just sort of loosen up your muscles and just relax down in your body, into the chair, wherever you're sitting. Just noticing the weight of yourself in the chair. And now just open your eyes again and just kind of readjust yourself back to your environment. Just take another breath in and just kind of notice the contrast between your eyes open and your eyes closed. And then just take a little breath in. And as you exhale, I'd just like you to close your eyes and relax again. Relax down into place. Just noticing your breathing, noticing the feel of where your hands are placed, where your feet are placed. And just start to relax your body more. Just allow yourself to get heavier into your chair. Just notice your breathing. Allow yourself just to sink gently into settling into your spot in the chair. Just noticing the sounds, just letting yourself internally become quiet. And now just opening your eyes again. Come back and just look at the room. Just readjusting yourself to look at the room. Just you're starting to get used to that feeling of relaxation. And so notice the contrast when you kind of come out of that state. And then again, just take a little breath in, and as you exhale, close your eyes again, sink down deeper into your chair. Just let yourself collapse and relax. Just do a little scan of your body from the top of your head right down to the soles of your feet. Just noticing as you start from the top of your head, working your way downwards, just noticing any points of tension. And if they're easy to let go of those points of tension, just let them go. Just relax them. Or if they're harder to let go of, just notice them and just continue to scan through your body all the way down to the soles of your feet. Just relaxing down deeper. That's right. And now just opening your eyes again. Come back here, just opening your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, close your eyes and relax all the way down. That's right. Just let yourself sink down. I've been getting you to open your eyes. Just enjoy being closed now and just sink down deeper and deeper into your chair. Just allow yourself to feel heavier. Just notice the placement of your hands. Notice the sounds around you. And just focus on your breathing. Really just notice each breath. Just breathe gently in and out. And with each breath, you can just let yourself relax a little bit more. And as I count backwards from 10 down to 0, just allow yourself just to go deeper and deeper into relaxation. Allow yourself to go deeper into your chair. And as you're going deeper in your chair, it's like you're going deeper into yourself. There's a deep, calm place in the center of yourself. It's easier to get to, easy to get to. Just float there as if you're a leaf falling from just breaking free from the top of a tree and just floating down to settle at the roots at the bottom. So just go ahead and relax as I count backwards from 10 down to 9. Going deeper, relaxed to 8. Drifting down to 7. Getting calm and peaceful at 6. Just noticing your level of relaxation in your body now. And see if you can double that relaxation as we go to 5. Now. That's right. Relax down even more as you go to 4. Drifting down to 3. Going deeper, relaxed to 2. Almost there at 1. Take a little breath in, and then as you exhale, go all the way down to 0 now. That's right. Going deeper and deeper, relaxed. And just connecting to my voice and just letting the sounds of my voice and any other sounds around you just carry you into a deep, relaxed place. Just allow the sound of my voice or any other sounds just to become like a tool or instrument to help you relax. It's a very easy thing to do. And don't worry if your mind wanders or thinks about other things. Just allow yourself just to keep relaxing down deeper into the chair and just not worry about anything, and just allow the sound of my voice to be in the background, because you'll hear everything that I'm saying. As a matter of fact, you may notice that you're aware and awake and alert and hearing everything that I'm saying as you do this. And you might want to just enjoy opening up to all of the ideas and suggestions and word pictures that you encounter. So you could imagine yourself, for example, as if you're on a beautiful beach. A beautiful, amazing beach. It could be a beach that you remember, maybe a beach that you had a great vacation at one time, or maybe it's no beach in particular, just a beach that you fabricate in your mind or your imagination. You could make it a big, beautiful tropical beach if you like. Maybe it's got, sand that goes down for miles on either side. Maybe there's beautiful palm trees that are swaying in the breeze. And of course you can hear the surf, the sound of the water washing in. And you can feel the sun on your skin as you kind of allow yourself to walk across this beach now and feel that warm sun, warm sand under your feet. And imagine or remember when you're at your best, maybe at a younger time when you're at your physical best, what it felt like to be really good. Feel really good in your skin and your bones, feeling strong and energetic. And even at your kind of best mentally and best physically, just at this beach, which you call your beach, this beach, your beach of healing and restoration. You can just be at your best here. You can be at, relaxed and calm and peaceful. You can feel safe because this is your beach. You can be in control because this is your beach. And you can just imagine or remember what it's like to be really good physically and mentally. And as you walk across this beach, you can allow yourself just to walk into the water and just feel the beautiful feelings of that warm water, which is washing against your body, those waves maybe washing up against your body. And as you look across this beautiful ocean, you know what tropical beaches are like, all the amazing colors of blue, everything from the palest shade of blue just offshore to where it turns into that completely amazing turquoise color, that Caribbean blue. And it might be sort of compounded by other shades of blues or even greens, as you can notice the colors of the structures of the corals and the seagrasses underneath there. And all those shades of blue go all the way out to the horizon, where the dark blue of the deep sea meets the bright blue of the sky. You can feel the warmth of the sun that's hanging there in the sky, warming yourself. And you can walk out of that water now and start walking along the beach. Walk along that kind of firm, wet part of the sand so you can feel yourself pressing footprints into the sand. And as you walk, you can allow your mind to drift back to other good times you've had around beaches, around water. Maybe you remember your last vacation at the beach, or Maybe you can remember your favorite times at the beach, or maybe you can remember when you were a kid at the beach. Only good, pleasant memories. Because when you're a kid at the beach, you could just kind of, so exciting, wasn't it, to go there? And you could just sort of run out of the car and go in the sun and the waves and the sand and leave all the issues behind you at that time. And now, having just enjoyed a few pleasant memories of the beach, put yourself back on your beach. And imagine as if you're turning around and looking behind you, and you're noticing that you left this long line of footprints stretching way down the beach, maybe even for miles. And even as you look back there, you notice that the tide must be coming in because the waves are washing across that line of footprints that you left. And you also left sandcastles there too, even though you don't remember building those things. But even as you watch, you're noticing the waves wash across that line of footprints and over those sandcastles. There's something really relaxing and soothing about watching that happen, about watching the waves wash across the footprints, and as they recede, they just smear them out, and as they wash over the sandcastles, they just dissolve them away. All those things of the past, all the impressions of the past, all the structures, all the issues that were built up, they're all in the past, and they can all easily be let go of, dissolved away. Because the beach has a self-healing function. It doesn't matter how many footprints are put on the beach or how many times you build sandcastles. When the tide comes in, it just dissolves all of that away and restores the beach back to its pristine, natural state. So if you come back in a day or two, or an hour or two, or the next day, it'd be as if nobody had ever walked on that beach, as if nobody had ever built sandcastles. And you'd have a clean slate and a fresh start. A clean slate and a fresh start. And nothing from the past has to affect you at all. That line of footprints seems so fixed and determined, but you realize that they don't determine where you go next. Even the footprints leading up to the very place that you're standing now don't determine where you go, what you do, or how you feel in the future. Nothing from the past has to determine where you go, what you do, or how you feel in the future. You're free to go into a whole new direction. And you can take an entirely new direction. And you can let go of all those things in the past. They can all just be dissolved away. They don't have to determine anything about you or where you go. And you realize, looking back on that part of the beach, you've been walking up and down that part too long, and you're ready to move to a new part of the beach. You're really not interested in that old part of the beach. What you're really interested in is the rest of the beach. Because when you look up ahead, you notice that it's an amazing, beautiful beach up ahead there. And there's a lot of interesting things going on. And people waiting for you, and people to do things with. And there's a whole other life waiting for you up there. And so you just decide to stop walking up and down on the old part of the beach and just turn to the next part of the beach. And it's a bright, beautiful place. And now step forward onto the next part of the beach and just feel good that you're determining your own path, and you're determining a new direction for yourself. And you're determining not to let anything from the past interfere with you. And you really have a lot of talents and skills, and you really have a lot of abilities that you've forgotten about. And you can have confidence that you'll be able to move forward on the beach and get all the help that you need. And there's people and resources that are available to you that are going to help. And just start stepping forward onto the beach, next part of the beach, and feel how good it feels. And just drop any extra bags that you don't need on the beach and free yourself as you move forward. That's right. Now just take a moment just to allow all these positive ideas and images and suggestions just to integrate into your body, mind, and spirit. And in a moment, I'll count from 1 to 5. And when I get to 5, you can open your eyes, feeling relaxed, refreshed, and just a little better in every way as I start to count at 1, feeling yourself more present and connected to the chair in the room. At 2, just allowing the sounds around you and your breathing to bring your energy back. At 3, you're feeling present and aware in your chair. 4, very aware and awake and coming all the way back. At 5, eyes wide open, taking a deep breath in, feeling good, relaxed, refreshed, and just like you had a little mental holiday. So that's it. That's a little mini sample of hypnosis. I'm not sure how deeply relaxed you got or not. Some people get very relaxed at that. Other people are, you know, just sort of sitting there listening. But you are in a slightly different state and you're just taking in a little bit more information. Of course, when you're in a live session, you get a lot more involved in it. But that's just a little sample of hypnosis. So I'll just leave you there. It's a little mini lesson on hypnosis, a little sample. If you like hypnosis, go to the App Store and download, look, hypnosis for sleep or relaxation or whatever a little issue you may have. You're going to find hypnosis apps on there. They have sound effects and all that. So go download an app or two. A bunch of them are free or they don't cost very much. And then just experience a longer hypnosis session if that's what you would like. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope that you found today's session interesting and that this stirs your curiosity a little bit of hypnosis and noticing it's actually nothing that's really all that out of the ordinary, is it? Okay, I'm Phil Naylor. Thank you for joining me. Please leave a comment if you're interested, if you like this video, or pass it on to friends, give it a like or whatever. And I'll see you next week. Thanks very much.